Today, our discussion is going to be more focused on how to grow cassava and after planting your cassava, what you are to do next. Welcome, guys, once again to Green World Consult. My name is Steven Tete. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing how to plant cassava to get the best in terms of weed control and optimum yield at harvest. When growing cassava, there are few things you need to take into consideration. One of the few things is good site selection. A good site should be a loamy or sandy loamy site, and it shouldn't be a site that is stony or waterlogged or very shallow because it's very bad for cassava production. Therefore, you need to go in for the best soil type, which is sandy loamy or loamy for your cassava production. Another important thing you should have to take into consideration, which is very important, is your vegetation. Vegetation type will help you to know the kind of weed that you have on that particular site. Are the weeds there the grassy side or shrubs with broad leaves and other kind? This is important because it's going to help you to know the kind of operation you are going to employ in your cassava production. Today, our discussion is going to be more focused on how to grow cassava and after planting your cassava, what you are to do next. So before planting your cassava, one important activity takes place before you plant, which is your land preparation. How are you preparing your land for your production? Are you slashing and burning, or you have the capital enough to mechanize your field? And when I talk about mechanizing your field, that should deal with plowing, harrowing, and making ridges. These all have its advantages to your production. One advantage of ridge making is that you are able to get a straight line for you to plant along, and that makes your farming very precise and beautiful. The spacing becomes right, and weed control becomes easy and efficient. So making ridges has its own advantages in terms of yield or increase in yield when it comes to harvest. So the next point is the spacing that you need to give in planting your cassava. So the function to what the farmer intends to use the cassava for informs on the kind of spacing to be used before planting. A farmer may intend to plant just to multiply planting materials or producing seed, and therefore it will have its own spacing requirements. So if a farmer is planting just to multiply planting material, then you can plant with a spacing of 1 meter by 0.5 meters. If the farmer is planting in terms of increase in yield and also for the roots to develop proper, then the planting spacing should be 1 meter by 0.8 meters. Plant spacing has a lot of implications on your yield and weed control. Cassava should be planted when the soil is moist. So you can cut your cassava stem 25 centimeters long. After planting your cassava, the next thing you have to do is to apply pre-emergence on the field. So pre-emergence delays the germination of new weeds on your field but does not affect your cassava. So once you plant your cassava, within 24 hours you should apply your pre-emergence on the field. So going through all these processes and getting to the point where have applied your pre-emergency, you can then take a break and rest for 2 to 3 weeks. So the next thing you have to do is between the 2 to 3 weeks, you have to do replacement or what we call calving. This is very important because most of the time, not all the cassava that has been planted gets to sprout. Therefore, you have to replace the ones that did not sprout. When you become reluctant and you refuse to do replacement of the planting material that did not sprout, or what we call calving, then you are at the risk of losing a percentage of your yield at harvest. So thank you for watching and kindly subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned with me as I'll be bringing you in the next episode an insightful and very important key points to note in managing weeds on your field in terms of weedicide application. Weedicides are good for controlling our weeds but can be dangerous if you don't do it the right way.